Sorry?
I'm recording.
Oh,
Okay.
I sent a voicemail to Francis and also a text. So welcome to the February meeting of MNRCC. And thank you all for joining. Can we get an approval of the agenda? I'll make a motion to accept. Get a second?
I'll second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the minutes for the 14th of January were distributed. I make a motion to accept. Any questions?
So moved.
Second. Thank you. All in favor? Thank you.
Aye.
All right, chair's report was distributed. Oh, wait, here we got, hang on. Oh my God. In church, forgot I had to usher mass at 12:10. Okay.
Oh, it's the Ash Wednesday. I should know.
Okay, so that takes care of that. All right, so do have a quorum, so that's good. All right, so my
What's today?
chair's report. Unless they want to open. I had trouble with another file before it got it to open. I don't know why. Oh, man.
Do you want me to pull it up, Randy?
I don't know why it's not opening.
And Sheila has joined us. Okay.
This is really totally bizarre.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, Sheila.
Very unusual. All right. Hang on, maybe we get it down.
Randy, would you like me to pull it up?
I got it. Yeah, finally
Okay.
got it. So there really isn't. Okay, so there really isn't too much that has changed, thankfully, since I wrote this last week. Storm is a storm, another storm. Luckily, over the weekend there were no major delays reported for the Metro Northeast of Hudson. West of Hudson did very well also. So rather than read the thing, I just will ask if there's any questions or comments about it. Now, happy to address them. All righty.
Randy, was there any update from the following the board briefing? We know that unless that's next on your.
Well, no, I didn't have anything further to say. Update about what?
No, they're just the tolls. The vote on the toll hikes will be taken tomorrow, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, they always have at the briefing a COVID-19 briefing and update. So they talk about the. Let me pull that up over here. Let me just do it this way. It's a lot easier if do it this way. So the agenda was the Chief Safety Officer, Pat Warren, gave a COVID-19 update. Really, thankfully, nothing serious there. Finance update by the CFO, Bob Ferran. And we're not in good shape. They did finish just with a slight profit last year because of it's not a profit, but there was some leftover money which they anticipated got rolled forward to 2021. But this situation is still dire. The tolls, yes, so the tolls are going up. They haven't figured out, and we have to approve that. Well, not me, but they have to approve it tomorrow. It's going to be on the bridges and tunnels. The cash charge for the Henry Hudson Bridge in Riverdale is going to be $3. And I remember when I lived in Riverdale in the 1970s, it was 10 cents. And I just hated to pay that 10-cent toll. So I would go down, not evading the toll on the bridge, because you couldn't do that, but I would take a circuitous route to avoid having to pay that 10-cent toll. So anyway, that's going up to $3 cash. It's going to be a little bit less for the Easy Pass. If you have a New York State, what they call it, New York City or whatever, and MTA Easy Pass, but they extend those discounts. Mine comes from the Thruway Authority. I've had it since they came out with Easy Pass. Mine has been with the Thruway Authority, so we get the benefit as well. They're going to eliminate the discount on the Verrazano Narrows Bridge for carpools. Apparently, I don't know how it works, but they explained it that there's a switch somewhere. I don't know if it's on the I guess it has to be on the Easy Pass, but there's a switch that when you activate it, you certify that you have the requisite number of people to take advantage of the toll on, and it's like $1 something, really cheap. I mean, I don't think we have any other bridges that are that inexpensive. So that is going away, but there aren't a lot of people who are taking advantage of it now because of the pandemic. But the last time I looked, look at this right here, the day-by-day ridership, the bridges and tunnels were not doing too badly when you compare to the previous year. On Monday, it was only 18.8% less than it was a year ago. And they've had some other, and it's generally, I'm just looking at the 7 days that they show here. So the worst was on Sunday, down 27%, but it's been down as low as 12.5% from previous years. So our cash cow is still working for us. Metro North is down -89 on Monday, -69 on Saturday. Saturday, the weekends seem to do better. So it's -69% for the just past weekend, 14th and 15th. LIR is doing a little bit better. They're down in the -70s. So it's still not good. Subway is down 62% on Monday. Weekends were -63 and -60. So we have a long way to go. And I think that the McKinsey study said that we're not going to get back to 90% by 2024.
That's the best case scenario.
That's the best case scenario. Yeah.
They may have modified that to 80.
Oh, okay. We also talked about fare evasion, which was a huge discussion. And Victor Calise, who's a new board member, was appointed. He's from the city. He represents well, he's not a member, but he happens to be disabled, and he goes in a wheelchair. And he says that almost every single time that he puts his card into the gate to open it up, 5-6 people run behind him. Andrew confirmed that they need to be has to be more of a presence out there, and it's not any particular group of people or race of people. It's everyone. All groups are the ones who are evading. And I haven't been to Subway since December, but I did see also. I was waiting at 34th northbound for an Uptown 1, and I saw people that were encouraging someone to open a slam gate for them. And I yelled at one of the guys, and he jumped back. And so I said to the guy who was trying to enlist to do it, I said, "You paid your fare, didn't you?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Why you gonna let this guy come in and not pay?" "Oh, you're right." So anyway, the guy went to the vending machine and he bought a Metro card and paid his fare. It's tough. It's really, it's a lot of revenue loss there, a lot. We also had a talk about the telling Bill Paley, I think was his name, transit zoning for an accessibility initiative, gave a presentation on that.
Bob Paley.
Bob Paley, all right, yeah. All right, William Paley was with CBS. So anyway, there's really nothing else that to talk about from that. Let me come back to the agenda.
Randy, before
Yes.
you go on that, what is the Henry Hudson Bridge toll going to be for people with New York-based Easy Passes?
Yeah, it's going to be in the $2 range, I think. Let me see if I can pull that up quickly here.
There was also an agreement that had been reached with the Outer Borough Transit Fund,
We
which
didn't
we
even-
talked about last year, which was a pot of money that came through the black car fee as part of congestion pricing that I believe was going to make the residents were either going to be free or even lower. That Jeffrey Dinowitz was able to make happen. But the Outer Borough Transit Fund is now on hold.
Good. Yeah, why should we be rebating money? All right, I had the saved place here for the fare increase hearing, bridges and tunnels. Well, it says increase to for the what they call the major bridges would go to as much as $6.70. But there's really no other details about the smaller bridges, and I really I can't pull that up. What I'll do is I'll look through, I'll send you an email later on once I find out what it is.
I have no plans to drive over it in the immediate future anyway, but yeah, I'm just curious what it's going to be. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, they don't give us documents for these things when they give a presentation. So it's just like you see it and then poof, it's gone.
I rode a couple of Metro North trains last Friday, and they were both diesel trains from Poughkeepsie to New York. And I would say there were roughly 30 passengers in each of the 7 coaches, sort of in both directions. That was about the average, about 30 passengers per coach.
Mm-hmm. Everybody was behaving.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And the train crew was very good about this. They made good announcements and so on.
Yeah, I noticed that too in my couple of trips I did in October, November, and December, that people were following the rules as far as social distancing and wearing masks, which is good. All right, do we have any old business to discuss besides the fact that we're not getting any new members until who knows when?
Well, we did. So Jerry Bringman, from the chair of the Long Island Railroad Commuter Council, whose name is up for the board seat for LARCC, also reached out to the governor's office in a different channel to find out what was happening with the appointments for that council, but for all of the councils. And the response was that they're in process, but they've been in process for an extraordinary amount of time. So Walter, we will do our dual end around to see what we can do to move that forward.
Okay. Yeah, it's really like unbelievable. It never used to take this long. It never did.
Yeah.
All right. Does anybody else have any old business to discuss? Okay, and new business. All right.
Randy, have you heard of any
I have a
further
question.
timetable scheduling adjustments based on ridership as they've done in the other
Long Island?
systems?
No, they don't. Well, we don't get the information. You know, the funny thing is that at last week's board briefing, which was on Thursday, some of the board members want to know when we can resume having the committee meetings. I mean, it was always a lot of good information comes out then. And Kathy Bernal, so we have the joint committee meetings, blah, 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 blah. So I wrote an email to her a few days ago, and I said, you know, you mentioned this at the meeting, but I know that we used to have monthly meetings when we were talking about PTC, but that ended in December. Are there meetings in January or February that I didn't know about? And so she responded that she meets with the 2 vice chairs, Rhonda Herman, alumnus of MNRCC, and Kevin Law, who's the head of the Long Island part of it. And so I said, well, no, I think that the other board members would love to be able to meet with you and discuss things. So her response to me was, we have been meeting with the committee chairs on a monthly basis, and we'll let them know, based on the exchange at the board briefing last week, that there is interest from the other committee members in participating. I will get back to you. So I know that meeting was held today, and she didn't get back to me today about it. So let me, there's a mutual friend of Walter's and mine He went to New York last week, came to Penn Station, and he had received his replacement senior Metro card for one that expired. So he went to the first booth he saw there, and they said, no, we can't move the funds from the old card to a new one. So they told him, you need to go to some other place. So he put some money on his new card and then went to where he had to go. And on his way back, he had some time. So he stopped off at a number of booths to see if he could get the money transferred, which was something I did myself years ago. And it's like a no-brainer. You go there, you give the card, they put it in, give you the new, and then you're on your way. And so he wound up having to go to Times Square. So, he exited the station at Times Square and went to the booth, and the agent accommodated him. And then she was nice enough to push the button so he could go back in without having to pay another fare just to do that transaction. So I emailed Pat and Sarah. Sarah answered. I answered, also added Eddie Zhu to it, and I didn't get a proper answer. It really was an annoying answer that I got from Sarah. She said that, thanks and hope you are well. We are doing less in the booths these days, trying to do much more online and by phone and by mail. This makes sense in terms of how we use our scarce resources. Started during COVID to minimize cash and other interactions. Lots of options still available to your friend and others, and lots of info on the website. Hope it helps. No, it didn't help. Anyway, I wrote back to her that having done this several times on myself and my wife, I don't understand why only certain booths have the ability to transfer funds. There's usually no cash involved, and hopefully the machine to perform this is still in place. And I mentioned that he had tried to do this in a regular Metro card vending machine that you can go and put with a regular card, you can add more money, and it was rejected because the card had expired. And I said, since no date has been announced for the rollout of the senior disabled Omni card, could Metro card vending machines be given the capability of doing this function? I haven't heard back yet, and I sent it to her yesterday afternoon at 1:05 p.m. So I'm not looking forward to getting a response, but I know other people have had trouble purchasing senior two-trip Metro cards, and I don't know what the answer is.
I don't think there's any way you can do that online. It's just a matter of transferring the value from the old senior Metro card to the new one, which they used to do all the time at any change booth. Yeah. And they certainly can't do that online. At least I don't know how to do it online. They have to explain that if you can do it. I don't think so.
I'm going to get back in touch with her, but I'll wait till after the board meeting because I know that she's probably busy preparing for that. But there was also an issue about one of our friends was going to get his COVID shot up in the Bronx, and he was apprehensive about getting on two different buses and two trains, or one train and two buses. So he asked if he could use the senior Metro card on there. And it turns out that he cannot, because senior Metro cards, even though it's in the reverse peak, and I had this with my sister last year when she was, not this summer, previous summer, when she was in New York. She was living out in Whitestone, where she has a place, Bayside actually, and she wanted to use her senior Metro card to come in on express bus, and she had to pay the full fare because but it was a reverse peak trip, and we still don't have an answer. I emailed again Pat Foy about this, and I didn't get an answer back. So not happy when I don't get answers. I'm not a voting member, but still I should get an answer when I ask questions, because I'm also out here as a commuter advocate. So still a commuter thing. Is anybody have anything else?
Yeah, I've got one thing. I have a question.
Sure.
I got that email a few days ago regarding the mask force on the 25th. And I was just wondering if anybody knows anything about it. Is it just for, I went to the website, but is it just for New York City Transit?
So I've done it. Actually, we've all done it.
Oh yeah?
Well, all three of us, Bradley and Sheila and I.
Okay.
And it's right now it's on the subways and buses. It's in the transit system. We've asked for it to be expanded, and we hear, oh well, sometimes the railroad presidents also meet at stations and do it similarly. So I try to get a heads up, like a couple days in advance as to where it's happening in Metro North and Long Island Railroad territory. And I will let you know as soon as I know.
Okay.
But it's,
All right.
it is fun. People are really happy to get them. They're really appreciative. One of the, I found that the station cleaners are some of the most appreciative. And also some people who appear to be homeless, because you have to wear a mask when you're in the system. So it's, you can get rid of 200 masks in 15 minutes easily if you
so is
don't
it-
take no for an answer.
Okay. Is it more of a problem on the New York City transit system than it is, like, let's say, Long Island Railroad or Metro North?
No, it's just that the number of people traveling is more.
Okay.
On Metro North, they have masks available on each train. You just have to ask a conductor. On the Long Island Railroad, they do not. It's a union issue. But we've tried to make the case that there should be masks on every train. You can, in subways, you can get masks from staffed booths, but not at stations when there's no booths and no staff. So this is sort of an additional push to get out there and make sure that, it reinforces the message.
Okay. Thank you. I'm considering it.
Yeah, good. Well, I'll be at Times Square at 4:30.
Okay.
And since I'm more than 2 weeks past my second shot, yay.
Yay.
I emailed the chairman that when I get back to New York, that I would be willing to participate in mask force with him, and he said we'll arrange it.
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
do
And
intend.
how are you feeling with the shot? Is this the first one or the second one? Okay.
First one, which we got on January 7th, my arm bothered me a little bit, and I took a couple of painkillers in the afternoon. And second time I decided not to. It was fine, cleared up. So it depends on just the reaction. But having gotten other shots, the flu shot and the pneumonia shot and the shingle shot, it's the same reaction, it's pain, but it's something I could live with. But some people do have more severe reactions. I spoke with a former board member who's older, and he and his wife both had COVID in the springtime, and he said that when they got their first shot, they were fine, but then a couple of hours later, they really felt sick. But then by the next day, they felt better. And he had the second shot. I spoke with him yesterday, and he had no reaction to the second shot. So, it was the one-off, I guess.
Thank you.
So real quick, you guys, I don't know if this is new news for you guys, but I've been out for several days. But our amazing intern, Shaul Pickard, just emailed me and let me know that the 2017 Origin and Destination Survey for Metro North has been released, and I pulled it up onto the website. I haven't had a chance because I just literally pulled it up. Haven't looked at it yet, but it might be something that would be useful for Freedom Ticket expansion and everything else. So I'm gonna comb through that, and if I find anything interesting, of course, it's 2017 survey data, which is still outdated, but the data that we had before was all the way back from 2014. So at least it's better, newer data. But of course, as we know, origin and destinations have completely changed within this last year. But
here's Warren. Hey, Warren.
Hi, Warren. I would just add that our Shaul is our other amazing intern.
Yeah,
I was going to say that too.
Also our amazing intern.
We have two amazing interns.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm interested to look through that data to see what it kind of says before the pandemic, and then see what that means for now. But if I find anything interesting in that, I'll be sure to share that with everybody.
Warren, unmute yourself, please. Warren, unmute. Lisa, you want to mention anything about the website, or
Yes, I was actually just going to do that. So we've been we've let a contractor update, upgrade, and revise our website. We're thrilled and excited, and that's moving forward. We have a new site map and a wireframe for the homepage that's progressing. And we just also brought somebody in to help us do content, because we are a small but mighty team who was already pulled in too many different directions and can't give it the proper attention that it's due. So actually, as one aspect of that, I'm going to send everybody your bios so that we can make sure that they're up to date.
Okay,
Yeah, I was gonna say we might reach out by sending your guys' old bios and asking if there's anything you guys would like to update as a part of this.
okay.
So we're
right.
on track for, Sheila, when are we on track for our big reveal?
For the whole website?
Yeah, that's not till like April or so, right?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how fast we can get our approvals.
Right.
But they're working really fast. For them, it doesn't take that long. It just,
Right.
you know, for us to review it and give the feedback is the part. Yeah.
Right, and it's also moving the content, so going through all the content and condensing it and seeing what we can do better, what we can do with better and what we can do without.
Yeah, that will definitely be a big part of this.
Yeah. But nothing will be an actual change until the committee chairs certainly and members have an opportunity to see what we're doing.
Sheila, could you just email me the link? I can't copy that thing down.
Oh yeah, sure. I can email it to you.
I
I
put in the chat an article that was online today about the lack of committee meetings and how people are, board members and advocates are unhappy with the lack thereof. And that's actually something I had in my testimony yesterday about, particularly on the crime front, that it would be a good opportunity to hear more about what's happening in transit with crime, to have the transit chief, police chief at the committee meetings, but there aren't.
Yes, that's something I wanted to ask her questions, and when he came up to the topic, she had already left. So yes, I'm not happy about that either, that we get a chance to speak to her.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I'm on a Zoom call. I'm on to the doctor. I'll call you back, Adam, okay?
Our next PCAC meeting is on March 4th, right? And we'll have the head of the Transit Tech Lab, Rachel Hout, who will be talking to us about all the different technological and innovative, Sheila's favorite word, innovative projects that are being undertaken. There's a COVID challenge right now, but there are also other challenges that are underway that are partnered with not just the MTA, but New Jersey Transit, with the Port Authority, to look at things, different technologies and techniques that can be brought into the system. For the COVID, as part of the COVID challenge, you're looking at the MERV filters that Metro North has been testing out.
Okay. Warren comes back, I'll find that if he has anything, otherwise we can adjourn the meeting.
Randy, just one other item involving Metro North that may be of interest. Last Friday, Metro North filed an application with the Surface Transportation Board in Washington for abandonment of the Beacon line, which, as you know, runs from the Connecticut-New York state line around Danbury to the Hopewell Junction and then on to Beacon. Now, they're not really, they don't need authority to abandon the line, and they're not seeking to rip it up. This is what they've told me. But they are seeking to divest the Housatonic Railroad of trackage rights to run over it. They haven't run a freight train over it for at least 5 years, and the law provides for 2 years. So they should be able to get this, but the Housatonic has just filed a protest against this, knowing as I do, they're going to try to get something out of this. But in any event, you may read this in the news media that they filed to abandon the Beacon line. I don't know if the news media have really picked this up yet, but you'll know they're not really seeking to rip up the tracks, but they are seeking to divest the freight railroad of the right to run over it.
So that's from Connecticut all the way across the Beacon, or?
Yes,
or,
well, it goes, it's the old New Haven Railroad Maybrook line as far as Hopewell Junction. And from there, it was the Beacon branch that went down, that goes down the hill to Beacon. And that's today's Beacon branch, I think Metro North calls it. So but they're seeking to, and then, there's been a trail built alongside it from somewhere around Brewster to Hopewell Junction, and they connect there with another trail that goes over the walkway over the Hudson. But there were 2 tracks on that segment of the railroad. So one where one track was is now a trail, and the other track is still there intact.
That's up your way, Francina.
Pardon?
Francine, that's up your way.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I
Yeah.
heard Beacon, so I'm like, okay, it's up my
Oh.
neck of the woods.
Yeah.
All right. I wrote a fan trip many years ago over from Beacon all the way over to the Danbury. All right, Oren, is there anything that you want to ask before we adjourn?
Not really. I'm just apologize. I had an emergency dentist appointment.
Okay, well, hope it's all well then. All right.
I
then
hope
nothing-
they stuck the bridge back in so it doesn't fall out.
Okay, good. All right, so I'll make a motion to adjourn. We're going to second. All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
All right, so we'll hope to see you all on virtually on March the 4th. Thank you all
Okay.
for participating and taking time out of your very busy days.
Thank you, Randy,
Welcome,
for all
my
your
pleasure. Thank
cooperation.
you.
All right,
Thank
take
you.
care.
Have a
Bye-bye.
good week.
Bye.
Bye.